Wait, let me do these. Is that weird? I don't think so. It just no. Well, no. No. All right, we're just gonna do it like that, I guess. Oh, hi, hello. First, yeah, true. True, you're here first. What do you mean where we at? What do you mean? What do you mean? Is your voice already? What do you yes. Okay. Yes. Is that bad? What do you oh, you mean the song? Yeah. Cause I love that song. Okay. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know. I uploaded my hold on, the angle is like messing with me. Okay. I uploaded my vlog for Chicago, the Chicago concert. If you haven't seen it, be sure to go watch. But I just finished watching it because I like to watch my own videos too, okay? I'm a big fan of myself. So I finished watching it, and at the end of the Chicago, like at the end of the night, okay? Hello, hi! At the like after the concert in Chicago, I was laying in bed and I actually, this is genuinely how I felt, okay? I felt like I had seen oneus like so much that day that I was actually kind of excited for it to just be over. I was really excited to just not have to see them anymore that day because like we started with the fan sign and then I seen them from that moment all the way up until we finished our photos, and then that was it. So that's a lot of hours to just be looking at, you know? And it's like, I love oneus, but at the same time, it was just a lot. And so after that concert specifically, I was like, you know what? I'm really glad I don't have to see oneus for a few days at least. So I thought, but you know, I was really glad that it was kind of just over, and I was like, man, I see them for so long and all this stuff. But then my problem was I went and seen them in Nashville. I did all of the same stuff over again, like saw them from 5:30 all the way up to like 11:30. 6 hours straight of just oneus. Except that made me miss them a lot more than I did after Chicago. So now I'm going through like post-concert depression. Okay, I'm like, I miss oneus so bad. I want to see them again, but I can't, and it's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. Back of the line, I was a fan first. Okay, what do you mean? I was an OG. I'm an OG. I'm listening to 21 Pilots because I need some English in my life. I want to listen to their new album because I really, really like The Contract. I really like that song. I'm also a so stan. Thanks. Thank you so much. No, but like I watch my own videos because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. All right, so I like to watch my own videos sometimes. But I think it's important to upload content that I like, you know? Because like at the end of the day, it is my channel and stuff. So I don't know. I'm still sad I couldn't go to Chicago. It would have been so amazing. Honestly, everybody that I knew was in Chicago. Which I guess makes sense because I have solidified myself as like a oneus fan from like the Midwest, I guess, because that's all of like the shows that I would go to were the Midwest shows. And so then I would make friends with people at the Midwest shows, but they also go to other Midwest shows like me. So it made sense that I knew like half of the people in Chicago. I just thought it was so goofy because it's like on Twitter, like a mutuals. What the heck was that? I'm mutuals with like a lot of people, and all of these people were going to Chicago. Like their first stop was Chicago. And so I was like, this is so funny because none of us are experiencing the oneus concerts yet, but we're all about to experience it for the first time in Chicago. I thought it was so funny, but it was so fun at the same time because I knew half of the people in Chicago, and I also knew that they were big oneus fans too. And so I was like, I know this is about to be a lit concert. It was good though. It was really good. What do you mean, Cap? What do you mean? Queen of Midwest 2 moons. Oh my god. No, because sometimes I think about that. I feel like I know a lot of 2 moons, but at the same time, I do think there are like groups within 2 moons based on where they're located. Like, I know all of the LA fans too. Like a few of like the more, I don't want to say popular ones, but the ones like a lot of people know. I know a lot of them as well. But like, I don't know about like the scene in like New York or anything. Because I went to New York for the La Dolce Vita tour. La Dolce Vita tour. And the way I didn't know anybody there, like none of my moots were going to New York then. And I, like all the people that were there, I didn't know. I was like, this is crazy. I feel like I know a lot of 2 moons. But I didn't know anyone in New York. Yeah. I was listening to 21 Pilots' new song called, oh, I'm just playing them on shuffle. I know a lot of their old songs because my sister is a big fan. So I, like, you know, I just know it because of her. But I do know that they're trying to release a new album. Do you know who? No, I don't. Sorry. Ah! Hey, hi. Hello. How are we all doing? We're doing great. We're talking about my favorite group, oneus. You can't say that. That's mean. My favorite song is still called Ride. Ride is a good one. I think my favorite... I don't know. I actually don't know what my favorite is. Sorry. I also... Okay, another thing I do have to talk about as well is that I thought... I like Midnight City. What do you mean? Most of my 2 moon moots and friends are not from my own state. See, I know a lot of... Okay, this is so weird. It's so strange. So, like, I feel like I know a lot of 2 moons. And the only reason why I probably won't know them is maybe they're not as active on Twitter. Or they've blocked me. Or they're 2 moons, but, like, their accounts are, like, for another group. Because, like, I usually only... well, I try to only follow people that are oneus based, like their account is oneus based, only because I try to just curate my content to be like specifically oneus. And so that's like the only reasons why I wouldn't know certain like oneus fans. But I feel like I know a lot. But for some reason, a lot of them are from like LA or like kind of surrounding areas or the Midwest. And then I know like maybe 10 in Atlanta and like that area, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know any in New York. I knew like, well, the ones I did know in New York, I don't like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got reasons, but I don't really like them. So, but I feel like I know a lot from Phoenix as well. Like I maybe know like 10, but is that because I went to Phoenix one time for oneus, or were we moots before that? I don't know. I don't know. It's good though if you want to go and listen to it. I'll make a list and then listen later probably. Sorry, I'm trying to get better about yapping about oneus on Twitter. That's valid. That's really valid. I feel like so many 2 moons also live in Texas. Yes, and that's actually like that's half Midwest fans. Because based on geography, Chicago and Dallas are like the closest ones to a lot of Midwest fans. Now me, Dallas is not that close. Dallas is not close at all. Matter of fact, I think, wait, let me look. Dallas might still be closer than Phoenix though. How far is Dallas from here? From me, Dallas is about 15 hours. How far is Phoenix from? Okay. Not crazy. It's not goofy. From where I am, Dallas is still closer, and it's 15 hours. Now, Chicago is the closest, but it's 14. It's like, okay, honestly, I think if I knew that, I'd probably just start going to Dallas. It's only an hour. It's only an hour difference. And this whole time I thought Chicago was closer because like in my mind I can map it out. It's like closer than Dallas. But according to this, it's not. All right. Okay. I need to like sit up. Oh, okay. No, that's ugly. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I only listen to oneus music. I don't bother to know the members. Well, I don't want to know any more information about Mint at this point. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Dallas is 8 hours from me. So you're probably like in between me and Dallas. Oh, I was going to talk about, so for some crazy reason, okay, I'm still really convinced that I just have allergies, because it doesn't feel like a cold to me. Like, I feel like I would know if I was sick, but I don't feel sick. It's just I have slight congestion and a slight cough, which to me is like, that sounds like allergies. But at the same time, I guess a lot of people were getting sick after the last couple, not the last couple shows, after like Chicago and Nashville specifically. So, like, my sister ended up getting sick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, what the heck is going on? Me, I thought it's allergies because it was like really humid. Like, I'm not used to humidity. And so, and we were in the humidity for a long time, like both in Chicago and Nashville. So I thought maybe that I just couldn't, like, it was just too much for me apparently or whatever. But a lot of people have been getting sick. I even heard Lido got sick. Hello? Who is going to this concert and spreading germs? That's disgusting. Hey, hi, it's been a while since I caught your stream. That's so true. Welcome back. I live in Georgia, so I don't know how far I'd be from Dallas. It'd probably be about like 12 hours, I would say. Allergies aren't contagious though. You got girls sick. Well, see, I don't know. Did I? Or like, did we contract it from the concert? Like, what happened? Sorry. Isn't Lido sick too? A slight cold. Yes! So you see what I mean? Like, somebody was at these concerts and they were spreading germs. So I just want to know who. Now, Lido made it sound like he didn't start getting sick until after Dallas. But at the same time, it could have been, like, it's like all within like a week. Like, I got sick from Chicago, like 100%, because I woke up the next morning after the Chicago concert and like I could kind of feel it. Like, I had like a sore throat all day. It was horrible. And then Tuesday is when I started kind of getting sniffly and stuff, but like that was it. And then my sister started getting sick like on Tuesday, Wednesday. Lido got sick on Friday or something. No, it was before Dallas. Wait. Confused. I'm confused. I think it was before Dallas. I don't know. I just know he's sick. Some of my other moods said that they also were feeling sick after the concert. Like, is it just like the seasonal cold? Is it because everyone's trying to go back to school soon? Or is it like what? Like, what is it? Something's in the air. I'm just recovering from my cold. It could just be like the seasonal cold. I don't know. But like I said, I didn't feel like I had a cold. It kind of felt like allergies to me. I saw a video of one of us making fun of, they what? Two members were like laughing and saying, oh, they don't have taxis. We use camels to get to the concert. Oh, I do remember that. I don't remember if they ever talked about what they said. But this was back in 2022. I think they went when they went to KCON in Saudi Arabia. And I do remember them mentioning that, and I don't remember if it became, I'm sure it was an issue. It was an issue on Twitter. But I don't remember if one of us ever said anything about it, or if people like just didn't like, because one thing I noticed, especially with One Us, is that a lot of things tend to be like, how would I say, there are some things that like fans, well, maybe, you know, like they try to like address it as a problem, and then like they, One Us or RBW like never talks about it ever. So I don't remember if that was the case or if they did talk about it. Not sure. Probably someone at the concert knew they were sick and was like, I'm going anyways, a small cold can't stop me from seeing One Us. Which I guess is fine, but like in order, I mean, if you're, I don't know, it's just kind of goofy because I got sick, right? And I didn't really interact with many people in Chicago. I got there really late to check in. And then as soon as I got there, they started lining people up by like their numbers. And so I was only standing beside the people around me. We were outside at that. And then when we go inside, like for sound check, like I was like in like the, I don't want to say the furthest row in the back, but there was nobody sitting behind me. And I was in the third row. So I was like in like the furthest back row. There's only a couple people in front of me. And then for like the concert, we just went, or before the concert and then during the concert, we just sat around the people that were around us, and that was it. So like I wasn't interacting with that many people. So I don't know what was going on. You're like the only One Us stan I know, and just want to ask you if you knew anything and can explain it. Is KCON, it's very famous in Saudi Arabia right now. They're getting canceled in Saudi Arabia. One Us. Right now? Where's One Us? What? One Us, we have a problem. This was a long time ago, I will say. But like I said, I don't remember if they ever talked about it. But I do remember them saying that. A lot of fans are mad. Oh. I understandably though, I don't, you know. Here's the thing, okay? I'm not going to defend One Us. Okay. I'm not trying to defend them. But one thing that I've noticed, maybe it's just, they're like the only group that I like super keep up with anyways. But One Us tend to do things, and I guess a lot of idols do this anyways, but like I notice it with One Us. They tend to do things because they just don't know that it's wrong, you know? Kind of the same with like Soho and like his like, you know, his style choice for when he did the military performance. Or like the time, debatable, but the time when like, I don't even want to use that because it's not that. Things like that, you know what I mean? It's like they do things and they say things sometimes because they just don't know that it's like not appropriate to say or do those things. And I think that that's fair. Now, I don't think that we should be like talking about or doing things that maybe we don't know, like, you know, for certain, like about. But at the same time, it happens, I think. I'm not mad or anything. I really don't care what they say, honestly. I'm a girl group stan. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's one of those things that they probably shouldn't have said. They just probably shouldn't have said it. Like, that sound, it sounds very ignorant, which it, you know, it is. But this also happened 3 years ago. 3 years. It was 2022. 3 years ago. And again, it's not me trying to defend them. But I'm sure they just said it because they just didn't know. But if it's like becoming an issue, I think it's something that they should address. Well, I don't know if I would say address. But they, you know, make like a mention of like, hey, we're aware we said this thing a few years ago, and at the time we just weren't uh, aware of the like implications of, I don't, just something like that, I think. Hey girl, hey, hi. My aunt was getting into them. She's like, I'm not getting into them anymore. I was like, okay. I like Kwanung. Yeah, I definitely think if it is like a huge issue that they definitely should say something about it. Cause like I totally didn't remember they said that, but I do remember them saying that, and I remember a few people saying like, why would they say that? But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Hopefully they do mention something about it and be like, hey, we apologize for saying that. I missed it, what they say. I guess they made a mention of they went to Saudi Arabia a couple years ago, and they mentioned how when they were going to the concert, instead of taking a car, like driving to the concert in a car, they said that they would ride camels to the concert, which is just very like, it's such like a negative stereotypical thing to say. I don't, I understand it was probably trying to be funny, but it sounds very ignorant. I would hate for oneus to say anything like that about where I live and where I'm from and stuff, because I mean, people do anyways, right? And it's always really sad, but like I would hate that too. So I totally get it. I don't think they have a lot of Arab fans anyways. I think I'm the only one who really keeps up with them. And they have a few. Well, I guess not anymore, but they had some. I should actually see if I can find anything on Twitter about it. oneus. Sorry. I mean, it wouldn't offend me, but if you're famous, you gotta be careful. You have to be very careful when you're, well, I wouldn't, famous especially, but when you're like in the public eye at all, you have to be very aware of how you're presenting yourself and what you're saying and what you're doing. Okay, I'll tell you, personal experience, right? Personal experience. Your glowing queen looks so pretty all as well. Thanks. Thank you so much. I'm just missing oneus, that's all. Yeah. I bet your search history is nothing but oneus. Okay, you know what? Sometimes I think I have a problem. I love oneus. I really, really love them. But like, I truly feel like my life just kind of revolves maybe just a little too much around oneus. You look like IN from Stray Kids. What? The public blind spot. It's better here. It's pros and cons, I think, to all of it. It just depends on like how you are as a person. Like me, you look like IN. I think you guys are lying. Me, I actually kind of like being in the public eye. Okay? Kind of. Like, I do. When I was younger, I've always wanted to be famous. Like, I wanted to be like, I think that's why I really became a fan of like K-pop and like idols and the idol like culture and all this stuff, because I wanted to be just like them. Like, I wanted to be pretty much like an idol. And then a few years ago, okay, I'm not gonna go into details, but I kind of was put in a position where like I basically became like an idol, right? Like in its own sense, in the sense that it, in the place that it was, is like I kind of was like, there was like people younger than me, all right, that they would like look up to me because they want to like be like me. They want to be where I was, or they want to be what I was at that time, like when they're older. And then I had like older people like, looking at me as like, oh, look at this good example she sets for like all the younger people and like people her age and then people my age were like, wow, like, you know, just everyone had something to like, they you know, they just thought like these things about me. And so it's like I was kind of in that same position where, because all these people had certain perceptions and ideas and stuff about me, I had to really, really be careful about how I was presenting myself in public, especially online and in public. And what, like, I'm at these like large events and stuff where people know me. I had to be very careful about how I was acting and how what I was doing and who I was talking to and like who I wasn't, you know, like I pretty much was just in this idle like lifestyle, and it was crazy, but it was fun. I will say I will say it was really fun, low key. I think I'm the only Arab person who listens to most newest girl groups, and people don't know these girl groups. How to make a video about them? They say they were a fan before me. That's cheap. I've been searching for furniture for my new place. I think you got a rough idea of everything. Oh, you have a new place? Are you gonna throw a house party? Can we come? Are we invited? You like that attention? Just a little, that's all. Where all these stays calling you ugly? What? Wait, they're calling IN ugly? That's kind of messed up. She's an influencer. I know sometimes I just feel like my mind is nothing but K-pop, and sometimes my mind is thinking about, do I love these idols a little bit too much? Same. I'm like, am I a little too attached? Do I need to take a step away? Maybe I need to take a step back. I got you. Elders can kind of make you into a role model even when you don't really intend it. That's true. I mean, the position I was in is like I put myself there. Like let me try to explain it in idol terms. Basically, I went into a survival competition, and the point was to obviously like win, right? Like it's to win, to be in that position, in that top position, and so I went in, did all my, voluntarily, and then crazily enough, I won at the end of the day. So then it was like, well, I put myself there. I signed up for this because I chose this. So I kind of knew. I knew that that was what came with it, is that, I was now going to be put into like this spotlight where people were going to just decide how they wanted to see me and how they wanted to feel about me, even if they didn't know me. And so it taught me a lot, I think, being in that position. It taught me the main lesson was that I can't control how people see me. Like I can't control how they feel about me, even if I really want to. It's like, even if they don't know me, they'll develop their own ideas and perceptions and stuff about me regardless, like even if I don't want them to. And there's nothing I can do about that. So I think that was the one thing that it taught me, was that I can't control how they feel about me, and so it really just shouldn't be my problem. Like I shouldn't worry about it. You did Kid Survivor. I need to watch this show. Did you have to wrestle bears? No. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it was just that, like, I think of it more as like a pageant. Like, where you're competing against other people, other women, girls and stuff, in different categories because you're trying to win like the top prize. That's kind of what it was. You attend housewarming parties? I just moved. Come on down. Yeah, if you set up a housewarming party, I'll make a surprise guest appearance. I was speaking to Rachel, saying we've been talking about K-pop for 5 years, and that's all we've ever talked about. And I said, as a joke, that my boyfriend's probably sick of us talking about them, because we're always in an Xbox party. I mean, if he hasn't said anything this far, I think. I don't mess with Stray Kids because a lot of the things they've done. Plus, IN is so, like, Stray Kids have the worst visuals in K-pop. Maybe only good-looking ones, Bang Chan or maybe Lino. That's a hot take. Hot take! I would love to do hot takes. I have a lot. Oh, no, do I want to get canceled? No. But I got hot takes. I got hot takes. Hair looks gorgeous today. Thanks. I had to like, I was struggling with it so bad before we started stream because I had my hair like in a different hairstyle throughout the day today, but I decided to like throw some curls in because I didn't like the way it looked. Like, it shows up differently on camera. So I was like, let me throw some curls in really quick, except I did, and then it started looking dumb again. And I was like, oh my god. So I just full sent it. I didn't even care. Hot take, Cars sucks. You know what? I might kind of agree. I don't understand the entire hype behind it. Now, I don't know if I would say it's like the worst movie, but it definitely is like very mid. So I don't know. That's my hot take too. Pixar's worst movie. I have the hottest takes in K-pop, like how Ahyun is a good. Her name's Ahyun, right? Or is it Ahyun? I keep forgetting. Is a good vocalist, and she builds better than Nayeon. Okay, I have something to add to this hot take because I also think that she is a good vocalist. I actually really like her voice when she's doing like verses, like when she's not belting out her notes. I think she has a really unique vocal sound. The only problem I have with her voice is when she belts, because I think like YG has this really specific way of training their vocalists, and like you can see it. It's a pattern in all of their female, well, even their male vocalists, they sound the same. They all have like this like the same tone, especially their main vocalists. And with Ahyun, I think it's because they're trying, like they're teaching her how to sing in the way that they've taught all of the other female vocalists, except Ahyun doesn't have the voice for that. Like it sounds like it's just like she's just yelling from like right here. You know, like where it starts to sound like it's coming out of her nose. And I think she would have a really good and strong voice if it came from like lower down, like maybe like her throat or so. I think it would sound very good, but because they want to kind of keep that pattern of the way that the YG vocalists sing, then it starts to sound like, I don't know. It starts to sound a little irritating when it's too high. My personal take. I asked my boyfriend about it. He said he just learned to live with it. I mean, yeah, I guess. I only know, oh yeah, from Cars. First worst movie is Shrek. Okay, I think Shrek 1 is fine though. I don't think we needed, well, Shrek 2 is okay. The rest of the Shrek movies, I don't think we needed. I really don't think we needed. I think the first one was okay. I think it was good. The second one was all right. All right, just added a little bit more to the plot. The rest of them just kind of were like, I don't know. Not Shrek. Shrek is overrated. Hi, hello. She's shouty sometimes because she gets really excited on stage, plus the notes she sings is not her range. I think maybe that's what the problem is. It's just there are some notes that she does sing that I just think maybe like it's just not working. But most of the time I do think she sounds really good. I only like the original Shrek, never liked the other four. Shrek 4 is the worst, a filler. See, I've never seen Shrek 4 because I just don't care. I think I seen Shrek 3 and I was like, no, we've lost the entire plot. Sorry. And I've just never seen the other one. She did hit, in a new interview, even if she did strain it, but a vocalist her age hitting notes like that is insane. I know, I just wish they would stop teaching her or training her to sing in like that really nasally tone for her high notes. I think that nasally tone sounds really good when she's singing, like I said, in just like a regular, like a lot, you know, a regular verse. When it starts getting to high notes though, I think is when it starts to sound crazy. In that tone, in the way that they're trying to teach her how to sing it. They should just teach her how to like do it from like her chest or something. Sorry. It's allergies, I swear to God. I swear to God, it's allergies. I think she'd do better in SM, honestly. Yeah, I do see so. It's also confirmed that Shrek 5 will release either this year or next year. I saw. Didn't they change like the animation for the new Shrek? it looks a little dumb. I'm gonna be really honest. It looks really dumb. Ah, I'm dying. Oh my god. We should do hot takes. I have a hot take, but I'm really scared to say it. Because it's a hot take that I actually just developed like last week. But I'm scared. Okay, it's just a personal opinion though. That's what hot takes are, right? Hot takes are just our personal opinions. It definitely looks off. Yeah, it looks bad. It just looks goofy. Save it for a secret stream. I should. God, I feel so bad even saying it. But the hint I think that I'll give is that it is about oneus. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It's a hot take. It's a huge hot take though. But I get it, like new CGI, bigger changes, and I was like, okay, yeah, I get it, but why continue? I don't even remember what the plot for the new Shrek movie is. I just know that the animation looked goofy because it does not match the other ones at all. Now I want to hear it. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Let me think about it. Let me ponder. Give me a couple other hot takes. Maybe I can like get the confidence to say my hot take. Another hot take I have is that 5th gen female vocalists are better than 4th gen female vocalists. And I will elaborate because the average girl group vocal tier, which is higher than 4th gens. Okay. I might agree. I don't know enough 5th gen vocalists to like really be able to like agree, but I do know enough 4th gen vocalists to say that there's probably only like a few that are really strong and powerful vocalists. Like when we think about like main vocalists compared to like 3rd gen where they had like a lot, and then 2nd gen they had, I don't know, like so many, right? 4th gen doesn't seem to have as much, and I do think that's because like K-pop, it like in general has been shifting more from like, because it used to be really vocal heavy, like back 2nd, 3rd gen, it used to be that like everyone had to be able to sing in the group because like that's like the songs were more important than anything, and like how they would sing live and stuff. But it started to like shift into more like concept and dance based. And because like all of these groups or all these companies that are debuting groups are focused on like having good choreographies and like good concepts, they've started to like sacrifice like strong vocalists in their groups so that they can focus on performance, which is fine, but now we don't have a lot of strong vocalists anymore. Even Toy Story 5 is a thing. What? Have they ever heard of the time where they should stop making sequels or prequels? Like, honestly, most movies and like franchise, is that what you call them? They don't really need more than like 2 to 3 movies. Like now we're just milking it for no reason. You know? I don't know. My personal hot take. Because Toy Story, I think I only watched, maybe I've seen the 4th one, I just don't remember. But I only clearly remember the first 3. And then the other one, well, I guess there's only 4, right? Like the 4th one, I don't know. And the 5th one, we can stop sometimes. We can stop. I saw the fourth Toy Story and I hated it so much. See, I don't even know if I've seen it. July 27th. I'm going through oneus' TikTok and every single comment is about Saudi Arabia. I'm so confused. Hasn't been 3 years since they've been there. Someone said, Someone said, you guys are never welcome in Saudi Arabia again. So disrespectful. They did not apologize to us because they're liars and they defamed us. We do not forget and we do not forgive. What the heck? Oh, Hanu made this comment in 2022. Oh. Yeah. Okay, apparently they did not apologize, so. Okay, yeah. I mean, they said that this was from TikTok. Like, people in the TikTok comments have been saying stuff, and oh, I don't know. I didn't know. The fourth one's my least favorite. The ending was awful. What was the fourth one about? They should have stopped after the first. I think the second one added like a little bit of like it was like okay. The third one was a little unnecessary, like the Toy Story movie. Just slightly, because they ended up in a daycare, right? Woody chose love over the gay. It was not bros before hoes for him. Not calling her a hoe, but I'm just saying, based on the saying, it's always the homies before. Oh, God. I mean, I love my love story, but it should have, what? It should have ended when Andy went to college. That's what I thought. That's what I thought too. I think that's why I thought the fourth one was so unnecessary. Well, doesn't he go to college in the... I don't know. Another hot take I have, which might ruffle some feathers, and this is the most definitely not a safe space. Oh, but girl groups get famous for music and boy groups get famous for visuals. Yes. No. Let me elaborate, because this is something that I actually super believe in. And I think it's fact. Okay, because you can't argue facts. I don't know. This is just fact. It's also based on, like, numbers and all this stuff. Not saying girl groups don't get famous for visuals, but we haven't seen that in a while besides Baby Don't Cry. That's true. No, okay. I think of this in, like fandom aspects, but because somebody has said this before, that girl groups tend to have, how would I say? How am I trying to say this? Girl groups will have the attention of the general public a lot more than boy groups will. But that's because people, like, girl groups tend to not have as solid of fan bases as boy groups do. And so that's why, like, girl groups, like, people are always listening to their songs and stuff because, like, I don't know, girl groups just tend to make, like, more, like, easily, they make music that you can listen to, what easy listening music is that, you know, like, you can listen to it and, like, you don't really have to be a fan, but you're just like, yeah, this is a good song. Boy groups, on the other hand, though, for some reason, they don't tend to make songs like that. This, and again, I'm saying, this is kind of based on facts. There's not a lot of boy group songs that, like, get popular the way girl group songs do, and I don't know why. I don't know why boy groups don't make, like, easy listening songs, but boy groups tend to have more, like, loyal and solid fan bases in general, okay? And this is something I also think about too, is, like, why do boy groups have more loyal and solid fan bases than girl groups? And so I might agree with what you said, the fact that it could be based off of visuals. Like, you can, I mean, obviously we don't all be like, oh my god, I only stand this group because, like, they're so beautiful and pretty. Like, we obviously like the groups we like because, like, you know, they maybe have good music, or we like their performances, we think they're funny, all this stuff. But also, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think oneus is pretty too. Like, you know, like, they're all visually, like, appealing to me, and that just kind of adds to it. So, like, I might entirely, maybe I agree. I do agree. Andy Grown Up was hot. Is that your hear me out? Is that on your hear me out cake? I wish I could make a list of hear me outs. I don't think I know enough. Oh, I had a hear me out one time and I did mention it. I don't remember if I mentioned it on a secret stream though. I do have a hear me out and I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Girl groups have more casual listeners than real fans. Yes. But like, I want to know why. Like, what's the... Boy groups have more sales than girl groups, and that's why Cosmic Girls hasn't had to come back while Gravity's had to. Yes. Very true. You're like my favorite boy group stan. Okay, I will say, I do think that I'm actually more of a girl group stan than a boy group stan. It's just... because I like a lot of girl groups, and I like maybe like 5 boy groups, and that's it. So I would maybe consider myself just a little bit more of a girl group stan. It's just that I'm like so locked in for oneus that it might seem a little different. I wanted to ask a question for you about oneus. Who do you think is it? What? You mean your bias? Where do you live? Why? Why are you asking where I live? Don't ask a weird question. Yeah. Do you know Stray Kids? Kind of. You stand twice? Yeah. Yeah. I'm having such a... Who do you think is... Oh, like the most biased? Like the most biased person in oneus? The reluctant... Yeah. Well, okay, I used to like Twice a lot more back in the day. But then they started, like... I stopped liking their title tracks as much. After a while, and it hasn't really gotten any better. But I still think about the fact that I used to be a big Twice fan a long time ago. And so I'm like, I do kind of like Twice. But, like, I don't like them as much now. But, like, I did. I don't know. It's your main girl and boy group that you stan? oneus and IVE. Yes. The most biased in oneus is Hwanwoong or Soho. I want to say it is Hwanwoong. And then, like, a very close second is Soho. Set Me Free is the best Twice title track, please. Set Me Free is good. It's good. I don't listen to it that much, though. I listen to Talk That Talk a lot. Like, a lot. Like, I still listen to it to this day, and it came out, like, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I don't remember. It was way more fun back then. It was. It kind of was. Set Me Free is legendary. Yeah, it's good. I stand TXT for boy groups, and girl groups is a mix of Twice and Islet. That's so slay. That's so slay. What was I gonna say? Oh. I'm gonna be really, really, really honest with you. For some reason, out of all of the oneus tours that I've gone to, this is the one tour where I feel the most jealousy. I am experiencing the most jealousy that I've ever experienced after any oneus tour. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Is that a new tattoo? No, it's old. It's old, but I've been thinking about getting another one. I really do want another one. No, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. Something's wrong with me. All these years, I've seen oneus on tour, and like I've never really felt like this after a tour, but this time specifically, I feel incredibly jealous. And so I can't be on Twitter for longer than like 5 minutes, because then I see everyone else's like posts and all this stuff, and I'm like, I love that this is happening for you, but at the same time, I'm mad that it's not happening for me. So I have to get off. And it makes me feel bad, because I'm like, am I too grown to be acting like this? Yes. But like, I wish it was me. I wish it was me. I hate this. I'm in the same boat as you. You get me. You see what I like? I'm not even on Twitter these days. I get on there for 5 seconds. I see everyone's posts and I'm like, I'm off. I'm leaving. You're so pretty. I feel jealous of you. No. Okay. It's more so I'm jealous of people's experiences. I'm jealous of people like interacting and all this stuff with oneus and seeing oneus and just being there with oneus. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be there with oneus doing everything that they're doing. It just isn't fair sometimes. It's just not fair. Did you go to see it in Hypen? No. So here was the problem. I think that if I had known much more in advance and I had planned it a little better, that I would have gone to see in Hypen. Because they were in Chicago the day before oneus was. And that's the day that I flew in. So like, again, if I had planned this a lot better, I would have picked an earlier flight so that I land like probably in the afternoon, probably like 2 or 3, so I can check into my hotel, get ready, and then go to the venue and then be at the concert. Like, I would have planned it that way. But I didn't know until after I had booked my flight. And I booked an evening flight because I have to drive 5 hours to like the closest airport. And so I was like, well, I don't want to leave that early. And so I'll just pick an evening flight. And that's what I booked. And then I learned, I was like, oh, and Hypen's going to be in Chicago the day before oneus. I could have planned that a lot better. Maybe I could have gone, but I didn't. Bro, me too, but like, it's a fact. You're so beautiful. Thanks. Thank you. The whole entire day, I just wasn't in K-pop mood, so I thought I'd just listen to anyone that's American English music artist. Have you heard any Tate McRae songs? I am a big Tate McRae fan. So much so that I still do want to go to her tour. It just started in the US, so like I have time. Because she announced this tour at the end of last year, so I was like, well, I don't have any plans in August, September. I can go see Tate McRae. I was planning on going to St. Paul, which was on August 13th, and that was the first stop of her US tour. And so I was like, I can go to St. Paul in August, nothing's going on. So imagine how extra mad I was when oneus announced their tour and they're going in the middle of August when I want to go see Tate McRae, because I also was like, well, oneus is going to Nashville. I want to go to Nashville. So now I can't go see Tate McRae in St. Paul. But she's also going to Denver, which is closer than St. Paul. But now I'm suddenly busy that weekend. I got things to do. So now I'm like, when am I going to go see Tate McRae? Now, luckily, she announced more shows in October. So it's looking like I can probably go see her in October, maybe, hopefully. Praying, because I'm a big fan. I want to go. I want to go. Bro, if I don't see Purple Kiss again before they disband, I'll actually cry. I miss them so much. Like, I need a hug song before she leaves the K-pop scene. I know. See, I'm thinking about, do I go to the tour too? The last time I seen them, I didn't go to their last couple of tours because they went everywhere that wasn't near me. But the last time I seen them was the end of 2023. So, like, should I go? or do I not? I don't know. I'm gonna be a mess on the day of San Francisco show. I fear I won't be able to be on Twitter at all that day. Me neither. I can't even stand it right now. They got 2 more shows left. Like, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for everyone experiencing oneus. I really am. I'm just really mad that it's not me. I'm mad that I don't know. I should have went to 3. Matter of fact. If I knew that this was gonna happen to me, I would have went to 3. Tim Curry mentioned. I love Tim Curry. Me too. I still have to get my ticket to see. I still don't know how, but oneus messed up my plans. You see what I mean? This is why I was upset when oneus announced a tour, because I had all of these other plans, but now I had to cancel them all because I will not skip seeing oneus, like, ever in my life. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be 45 years old. They announce a tour, I'm there. I'm there. It's gonna be me and 20 fans in this venue, but I'm there. All right, I don't know, but I'm just like, I don't know. At the same time, I was trying to go do other things. I saw them at the end of 2023 too. Twin. Y'all Americans are so lucky. You guys got a lot of the tours. The last K-pop concert in Saudi Arabia was KCON in 2023. I heard it doesn't go that way too much. Yeah, see, in the big picture, Americans do get a lot of things, right? Like, they get a lot of things. We're lucky we're getting so many tours, but at the same time, it's getting overwhelming. It's overwhelming because so many people are going on tour. So you really do have to like pick and choose, which is a privilege still, right? It's still a privilege that you get to pick and choose who you want to go see. But also, like 80% of people, like American K-pop fans, don't live anywhere close to where these groups are going. And because all of these groups say there's like 12 groups touring at the same time, they're all going to the exact same cities. And it's exhausting the fans that live in those cities because they have to pick and choose which ones they want to go to. They can't go to all of them. They have to pick and choose. And then people who live, like, who have to travel in to like go to these concerts also have to, it's like, how would I say it? It's a little bit more tedious, especially when you don't live in the area, because you really have to plan out where you're gonna go, when you're gonna go, and like, again, like, have to be able to like pick which ones you want to go to. Um, which is kind of why, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's expensive too. The US is also so vast, domestic travel can be very expensive. That's true. That's also why I only went to 2 stops for oneus. I wanted to go to 3, but they announced it on such short notice. And like, travel is just expensive. Like, all the places that they were going were nowhere near me. So like, I had to pick where I wanted to go, but like, that gets expensive really fast. You said Blackpink. Like, as a Blink, I feel so disappointed after Jump. YG's milking them for money. Yeah, Jump was like, okay. I think I like the verses of Jump a lot. I just don't like the chorus that much. But it was definitely an underwhelming song, especially since it was their first like group comeback in like so many years, and then they released that. Like, that was just so bland. Sorry. I'm sorry, my bad. 2022 was like tour for me, for boy group and girl group, and I was like, do I have to choose one group? 2022, I guess it was kind of the same for me. For me, my biggest like travel years were 2022 to 2024. Like, this year I haven't really gone to a lot of concerts, but like, I'm okay with that. I'm tired. I'm tired of going to concerts. It's so sad for fans. They got SB19, not any K-pop group in Dubai. I'm crying. Can't they just get any girl groups in the Middle Eastern? I do wish more girl groups would go on tour. I was actually really noticing how a lot of the groups going on tour are boy groups. Which is fine. But what about the girl groups? Like, I would love to go see a girl group. I think I would like concerts a little bit more if I could go to more girl group concerts. It's just, I've been to so many boy group concerts, and not to get back on my hot take agenda, I'm not the biggest fan of boy group fans, okay? Like, a majority of them, I think, they're kind of a little off-putting to me. And it sucks because that affects the way that I experience the concert, especially if I'm going to a group that I don't really stan and I'm just going for like casual vibes. Like, some of the fans there are just, I'm just not a fan of. Okay? But like, I don't know if girl groups would be like the same way, but I think it's just because I've experienced so many boy group concerts and the atmosphere that I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of going to boy group concerts. Compared to other songs, it was disappointing and they took such a long time. That's what I'm saying. It was just kind of underwhelming. First it was TXT, then 17, then ENHYPEN, then IVE, and then I get to the point where I was like, stop. Yeah, true. It's a lot sometimes. You get it, I love you. I'm glad you get me. I feel like sometimes I say these things and I'm like, I think no one's gonna get me. I think this is me just being a hater. So I'm really glad when like other people agree. Now this I'm saying like 80% because there are some actually like really nice and really okay boy group fans, but a lot of the time, like a lot of the time, it's like not really my vibe. Especially, most especially with like the not so popular boy groups, I think is where it starts to get a little, I don't know, it's just not as nice as maybe going to like a bigger group, you know? I don't know. They are weird. You're not biased. That's why we love you. Thank you. I felt like I hit the tour wall at least 20 times. What? Yeah, no, it's getting exhausting, I think. It's getting exhausting. Plus, I want to experience more concerts that just aren't K-pop. Because K-pop concerts in general have a whole different like vibe and atmosphere than other concerts. And because earlier this year I went on like a road trip and we actually I don't even know what genre you would describe these bands as. They're what the heck is the genre? It's basically like a lot of them like scream sometimes. Now, it was 3 bands. It was a main band and then 2 openers, and we were going for one of the openers because my pal was a big fan of that, you know, that specific band, and I was just going for fun. But I ended up becoming a fan of the other opener band because a lot of their songs, I don't prefer songs that have like the screaming in it. It's not my vibe. That's all. Um, but out of the 3 bands there, they were the ones that didn't, they had like the least amount of screaming in their songs and they sounded good to me. Okay. But like, it's a whole different genre. Like, it's a whole different genre. It's a whole different scene of fans and people and all this stuff. And I was like, I kind of enjoy this. It was a nice break from like just the amount of K-pop I was going to. And I think that really made me want to like sort of kind of cut back on K-pop concerts and start trying to go to like not K-pop concerts. So I'm trying to at least like I also go to concerts if it's maybe not K-pop. Non-K-pop, I think I would choose Benson Boone, Charlie Puth, or Shawn Mendes. I would love to go see Charlie Puth. Shawn Mendes, maybe. I know like 3 songs. Actually, I went and saw The Weeknd in Nashville last week. Hello, that was exciting. That was super exciting. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. Good night. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I didn't even know The Weeknd was performing in Nashville until like the day. Well, it was actually, we took a Lyft downtown on Tuesday because Tuesday was like our free day to like look around and just do whatever. So we were gonna go downtown and then just like walk around from there. And our Lyft driver is the one that was like, or we were like, he's like, what brings you into town? And I'm like, oh, we're here for a concert. And then he was like, oh, is it The Weeknd? And I was like, no. And I was like, I didn't even know The Weeknd was, like, when is he performing? He's like, it's tonight. I was like, what? So we got off the Lyft. I actually told the Lyft driver, I was like, no, we're here for a K-pop concert. And he was like, oh, really? Like, what's the group called? And I said, oh, they're called OneUs. And he was like, OneUs? Like, you know, I guess he's heard of K-pop before, but like not OneUs, right? Obviously. And so I'm like, yeah, they're performing tomorrow because it was the day before. Like, yeah, they're having a concert tomorrow. And he's like, where are they performing? I tell him, I'm like, oh, it's at the Ryman Auditorium. And he like looked and he was like, the Ryman? And I said, yeah. And like, you know, I don't know. And he's like, and he was like, oh, and he got quiet and he's like, that's kind of surprising. He's like, I'm surprised that they got, um, or he said, it's surprising that they're performing at the Ryman. It's like, I heard it's kind of hard to get booked in there. And I was like, well, I don't know. I guess I didn't know. I know it's like a pretty famous venue and it's like very historical. I didn't know it was like that though. And so he said that, the Lyft driver, like our Lyft driver that day. And then my sister went to the venue later, like on the concert day. I had, like I went for like the Kovar stuff. She came later before the concert. She said that her Lyft driver said the same thing. It's like, I'm surprised a K-pop group is performing at the Ryman Auditorium. And so then I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute. I guess that is kind of weird. Like, this is like a very historic building, and you got some random K-pop. I love you, oneus, okay? Love you for real. Not to say random, but it's oneus at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And so they're like, I kind of was thinking the same thing. I was like, how did oneus get in the Ryman Auditorium? That's insane. Anyways, so he told us that the Weeknd was performing that night, and so I was like, what? So we get off the lift. I start looking for tickets immediately, and I just picked the cheapest ones that I find. Cheapest ones, and we're seeing the Weeknd. I thought it was fun though. I thought it was fun. I lied to locals in Detroit and said I was visiting a friend. I mean, not wrong. No, I love promoting oneus everywhere I go. So if someone asks, I'm telling them oneus. I'm like, oneus. My Lyft driver, even the one that told me about the Weeknd, he even was like, he was like, maybe I'll play, like, I'll queue up some of their songs on like his aux cord, and he played No Diggity in the car. I thought it was so funny. I was like, this is so goofy. This guy knows nothing about oneus, and like here we are just trying to drive downtown so we can look around, and we're still listening to oneus on the way. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It was kind of funny. Do you ever have that phrase where you listen to too much K-pop, you start getting overwhelmed by it and switch to just, oh, you mean phase? Yeah, I do that a lot actually. I remember when I took my mom to see 17 with Rachel, and you know how sometimes fans bark? Well, I was one of them. My mom gave me the biggest side eye. Valid. My other hot take is I don't really like when people do the barking. I think it's a little weird. But like, I mean, I just don't participate, and that's it. Shawn Mendes mentioned. Hi, hello. Yeah. I'm from India. When it comes to K-pop, the fans here sexualize boy groups a lot. Oh, man. I mean, I guess they do that here, too. No, I think they do that a lot here, too. It's just, there are a lot of things I don't like that fans do. K-pop fans, especially. And so, like, when they're doing things that I don't like, I kind of just zone it out. So, like, I know, all right, not to be, like, I don't know if it's, like, weird and strange, but I don't really like when people, I guess it's just oneus, especially because, like, I go to oneus concerts all the time, so, like, I hear a lot of things from fans everywhere. I don't like when people, like, sexualize oneus. And when I tell you, it gives me like the biggest ache, because I'm like, we're not even here to do that. Matter of fact, we're sitting here because they're performing their songs. Like, hello? And then they're like standing there. I had an instance of this in Nashville because the girl sitting in front of me was a Lido fan. I feel like that already says a lot, right? Because like a lot of people I've noticed, there's maybe like 80% of Lido fans like Lido because of the way he looks. Which is fine. But what about his personality? Like, do you know anything about this guy? Or do you just know the fact that he stands there and he just looks hot? Like, you know? And so the girl sitting in front of me was one of those people where she was a big fan of him because like he's obviously good looking. Duh. But, like, she just kept making mentions of that while she was sitting, and it's like I can hear her, she's in front of me, and I was just like, man, like, sometimes I just feel bad. I know he can't hear her, and I know he probably doesn't know she's saying all this, but, like, I don't know. I'm like, it makes me feel just bad at the end of the day. I'm like, I'm sorry they don't appreciate you like that, Lido. I do. I appreciate you. I also think the barking is weird. I've always thought it was weird. I hate being put in the same box as people now. Hating people who like K-pop. That's so true. I'm gonna bring oneus to. Oh yes, bring them everywhere. I remember when TXT had their tour and I zoned out a terrible time during the show. There are more than that. There are people like leave them alone. I know. Like, do you know anything about like what they like and what they don't like? I've noticed that too. It's so, I don't know. Like I said, it's just sad sometimes. When they're performing Tinnitus, there's a part where Taehyun lifts his shirt slightly, and I miss that part and I still regret it. Oh, no! The mentions are disgusting sometimes. They really are. Same. I've been so upset about people doing that with oneus and ATs. It's so upsetting. Like, hello, they're human. What about their art and talent? Yeah. And I also, like, so I'm all for appreciating visuals as well, okay? Because sometimes they do look really nice and really good. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. It's like, especially like when like on Twitter and stuff, when they're just making mentions about the fact that they just make such like weird, they say weird things about these idols, and I'm like, why would you say that? Like, you can think that in your head, I'm sure, but to say it out loud in front of everyone, like, that's just strange. It's just so strange to me. But I don't know if that's because I don't do that, that it's weird that other people do that. Like, I don't look at oneus and start thinking strange things like that. It's like, I love oneus because like I just think that they're like nice and like funny and all this stuff. And they're good singers, right? They're just good performers. But yeah, ATs I think is like where I notice it too. Sun especially. I know. That's an issue I used to have with the girl I used to be friends with. She was a really big ATs fan, but she used to make sexual jokes about, I won't even say jokes. She just used to say she would sexualize ATs all the time and say really weird things about the way they looked physically. And I'm like, you can appreciate the way they look without saying things like that. You can just be like, wow, they look so nice today. Or like, oh my God, they look so like, I don't know, just not using whatever she was saying. And I just thought it was so weird. So every time she would say things like that, I kind of would just ignore her. I'm like, I don't know why you're talking like that about people. Well, I don't know. Learning what I learned about her later, I guess it made sense. Intrusive thoughts are supposed to be intrusive. Yeah, they're supposed to stay in here. I said I wouldn't bark at the concert of TXT, but like they included barking. Okay, if it's in the song though, because I think that's acceptable. Because I also was like, the only time I will bark at a concert is if it's for TXT and they're singing Cat and Dog, because that's where that belongs. But not barking just randomly, like mid-concert, like that's strange. I was literally talking about this with my sister yesterday. Like, it makes me so frustrated. I literally found some YouTube channel. She's an ATini and makes ATs content, and all she talks, oh my God. Does she just talk about how they look? Okay. This is the thing though. Like I said, I think it's okay to admire the way they look sometimes. Because sometimes they do be looking really fine. Really, really fine. But I think when you're like, there's a line where it starts to become like weird. And I don't know. Talks about their sexual side only, like nothing about them as a human, an artist, nothing, just sexualizing them. It made me angry, like being a normal, genuine 18. Yeah, I know, and it's just sad seeing with ATs too. I had a friend like that, not friends anymore. No, same. The friend that I had that did that, like, we're just not friends anymore. But I'm so sure she probably still does it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm defending my point because there is... Let me show you something. I have to show you something because I'm actually I'm a huge fan. And I'll show you early. It's early access, okay? Early access. Hold on, let me see. Oh. Can I full screen it, or is it already full screened? All right, team. How come this won't go away? All right, so you see that this is my vlog from Nashville. All right, this is early access, like I said. Don't look at him. Hold on. Oh, but okay, you see Lido? Like, I thought he looked really good in this outfit. Like, when I tell you, oh, okay, this is why I'm trying to defend the point of, like, I think it's okay to, like, see them sometimes and be like, man, do you look fine, though? Because this was one of those moments where, like, I don't really, I mean, Lido is good looking. He's good looking. I'll give him, you know, like, but that's objective, right? We all look at Lido and think that he just looks really nice because he, you know, I don't know. But, like, that's kind of all I ever think about Lido is, like, I just see him and I'm like, yeah, like, he's nice to look at sometimes. But in that moment specifically with that outfit and just, like, the way he was, like, wearing the outfit, I was like, man, does this guy look fine today. To the point where he came out, I seen him in that outfit with my eyes and I just sat there and I just stared at him. I was like, like, I wasn't singing along to it because he came on that outfit for his solo song. So, like, I wasn't singing along, I wasn't moving or anything. I was recording and I was just, like, looking at him, like, I was admiring because he just looked so good. Man, did he look good. I was a big fan. And even too, because, like, he wore that outfit for, like, a long set. And so sometimes I had to stop and just be like, man, does he look good. So sometimes I would just stop and just stare. Like, I would just watch him because I'm like, I like this. I like this outfit. But, like, I don't know. I wasn't doing it in, like, a weird way. It was just, like, I just thought he looked extra fine in that moment. I forgot what group it was. There was a boy group. The fans were barking. One of the members said, okay, well, some groups like it. I don't know why. She only talks about it like they're an object, not even human or artist. Like, what about their music and them as people? True. She made disgusting jokes about, oh my god. It made me upset. That would make me upset too. Like, how could you be a fan and, like, just say all that stuff about the artist? I forgot what K-pop group it was, but I remember on TikTok. It was probably one of these new groups. They kind of enjoy that, I think. You just reminded me to edit my vlog. Edit your vlog so we can watch. What are you talking about? Totally appreciate the good amount of appreciating their good looks. Totally make it sad. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. When you start crossing the line is when it starts getting weird. Okay. She does, though? Wait, who? But making disgusting comments out loud is uncomfortable. It is. I think it was ATs or something. ATs. I guess ATs make sense. Is back in 22 or 23. I guess I could see ATs. Like, me too. I had a thing for Yeonjun in the, oh. Like, you know, the one, the MV with the hat. Maybe. I haven't seen that music video in a long time. That's one of those songs where, like, I wasn't a big fan of it. And so I don't really, like, watch the music video or listen to the song that much or anything. Yeah, anyways. All that to say. What was I saying? I don't remember. Anyways, Lido looked really good Nashville. I was a huge fan. Okay. I was a huge fan of Lido. Well, I kind of am. I already am, I think. Oh, God. No, no. I was going to give a hot take, but I don't want to anymore. Me too. This is where it's fine when you're a genuine fan of an artist / group and respect them as people and artists. And also acknowledge and appreciate their good looks and such is fine. But crossing the line. Yeah, it's when it starts to get like, I don't know. Instead of just being like, oh, he looks so good today. It's like if you start saying like really strange things, I think is where it starts to cross a line. What is going on with my hair? Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. I actually really like creepy and disrespectful. Yeah, true. Me and Rachel both love Bumgyu with long hair. My bias is Bumgyu and her bias is Yeonjun. Wait, period. Period. When I first learned of TXT, I almost said ATs. I generally can't pick a bias in TXT. It's something I really struggle with. Kind of same. When I first learned of TXT, my bias was Yeonjun because I thought when I pick biases in groups that I don't know anything about, I tend to pick the ones that I think are the prettiest. A good example of this is when I first learned all of oneus, like all the oneus members. I didn't know anything about oneus, but I was like, I should pick a bias. And so I picked Shion. Shion was my original, like, first bias in oneus ever. And that's because to me, he was like the prettiest one. Is that wrong though? Like, I think everyone thinks he's pretty. But then once I learned like of them and their like personalities and stuff, it switched to Soho so fast. So anyways, with TXT, because I didn't know anything about them, I picked Yeonjun as my bias because I thought he was the prettiest. However, this friend I used to be friends with, she was also, this is the one that makes like crazy, like says weird things about ATs all the time. She's also like very possessive, which is strange because it's like you don't even know these people. I don't know why you're acting like that. But she used to hate when like you would have the same bias as her, and she picked Yeonjun as her bias too. And I knew that I would never hear the end of it if I decided that Yeonjun was my bias. And so I just picked a different bias in the meantime, and I picked Subin because he was like the second prettiest to me. But I locked in because she seemed to be more like Yeonjun bias, because Subin was also one of her biases, but she seemed more like she was a Yeonjun bias. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna lock in with Subin. I don't care that he's your second bias. Well, he's my first bias, so like, what the heck? Anyway, so I'm still a Subin fan to this day. I was secretly thinking about surprising my boyfriend randomly with bangs. You just have to cut them right, and then they'll look good, I swear. I swear to God. No one looks bad with bangs. You just have to cut them right. Finding that ATD made me upset. This is like a month ago. You know what? You're making me curious. What if I go find this person? My bias is also Yeonjun. Oh my God, twin. I picked Bumgyu because he was cute and funny. He is kind of funny, I think. Bumgyu is also my bias. Twin! My Australian friend's bias is Subin. I think Subin is, I don't remember if I ever told this story. It was really funny though. So one time I was talking about my biases in different groups with my sister. And I was talking about like other groups that like, you know, we both know, but like we don't stan. So like TXT, or 6. Well, she stands 6, but, and then there was one other group. I forgot. We were talking about like, I thought it was our biases. Maybe it was just personalities and stuff we like. And then I told her how I tend to always pick the same kind of bias. across groups. Like they all tend to have the same kind of trait. And I was telling her how I think I told her that the trait that I noticed that all my biases have is that they're vocalists. I love me a good vocalist. So she told me to tell her like 5 random biases that I have, and she knows Soho is my bias and Baekhyun. So I told her like my bias in TXT was Subin. I told her my bias in 6 was Hyunsuk, and then I told her one other bias that she, hold on, I can probably find the message. Cause she clocked me so bad, but she did it in a whole different way. It wasn't even like, it was in a really specific way, and I was like, oh, like I didn't even, oh my god, I don't even know my pin. Oh, that's my pin. Okay, let me try to find it. Lido's my second bias? Oh. Oh. Ah! Hold on, let me try, let me just look up Subin. Okay, never mind. I don't know where we were having this conversation. Anyway, she said that the biases that I listed for her all have like the same vibe of how like they seem really like shy and reserved on the outside, but like that they're like really weird and like kind of strange in a good way. Like when you like talk to them, like you say something to them and they're like gonna say like the craziest off the wall thing ever, but they're gonna look like they're like shy and quiet. I don't know. So anyway, there's that. No, buy clip-ons first. I cut my hair so wrong. You should buy clip-ons to find out how it looks. Not accidentally ruin your hair. I think if you do start cutting your hair, you start with curtain bangs, because curtain bangs are long. So like, you know, it's better to leave too much hair than to not have enough. So I do think you should, if you do want to try like a real bang, do curtain bang. For sure. I heard on TikTok years ago saying that your bias in a group is you as a person, your record's your type of man. No, because I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it. It's kind of embarrassing. So I've told this, I've talked about this before though, of how when I picked Soho as a bias, I really, really liked his personality. And at the time, I used to pick biases. Like I used to like people, like group members who had kind of like more of an outgoing slash, I don't want to say eccentric personality, because it wasn't the ones that were like hyper and extrovert and all this stuff. It was the ones that were like effortlessly, no, what's the word? There's a specific kind of like type that they were. Like the only word I can really think of is like weird. Weird, but in a funny way. Those were the kinds of like personalities I liked in groups. But at the time I was like, because that's a personality I wish I could have. Not weird in a funny way, but it's just that they seemed funny in such a natural kind of way. Like they weren't trying to be funny, that they would just say something and it would just be funny. But then as time passed, I realized that I probably had that personality this whole time and that I was just suppressing it. And so kind of in the case of like Soho, right? I do think me and Soho's personalities are pretty similar looking at it now. And so like I do agree. I do think in that aspect my bias is like me. But my bias record in oneus, I do think it's actually Lido. I think it's actually Lido. I say Kunhee all the time, but I think Kunhee's more of like a bias instead of a bias wrecker. Like he's like my second bias. But Lido is one that like, I don't know if he'd ever be a bias, but he's definitely a bias wrecker. But thinking about it too though, is I do think I do think he could be like my close to an ideal type. Kind of close. We get the link. I'm here. Oh. Sorry. Oh, she makes a lot of like quiz videos. Wait, I want to watch one. Hold on. Let me finish and then I'm gonna watch one. My bias records are Han, Ian, Mingi, Yunho, Hwanung, Lido. Oh! I can tell the difference from my main biases. Yeah, all of your bias records I think has the same kind of dilemma that mine has. It's like your bias records are like the entire opposite of your biases. Because my bias in TXT is Bumgi, and I see that in my records Taehyun, Yunjun, sometimes Kai. My bias is Bumgi right now, and Subin has always been my bias record. Okay, but like then you start thinking about what is it, like if you put it into that perspective, all right, think about it in your bias record. Like what about your bias record? Like do you think they fit like your ideal type? Be honest. Okay, because, oh, I was going to try to defend my case and I like didn't. So I was going to say in EXO, my bias is Baekhyun. Okay. He's very similar to Soho. Like they're really similar people. It's like scary to me sometimes. Like that's just the same person in a different group. My bias wrecker in EXO is Chenyol. But think like you guys, if you know Chenyol and you look at Lido, be honest. That's this. I'm almost embarrassed. And then okay, so we'll do ATs. My bias in ATs is actually San. I don't want to talk. San and Mingi, I think, are my biases. But I do like San a little more. But think about San and Soho. Clocked, right? My bias wrecker in ATs, I think, would have to be... Who's my bias wrecker in ATs? Well, I guess it would be Mingi then. Because San is my bias. Mingi is my bias wrecker. But do you see now? Do you see this pattern that's happening? Disgusting. Okay, let me do Stray Kids. Stray Kids, my bias in Stray Kids is Lino. My bias wrecker in Stray Kids? Do I have a bias wrecker in Stray Kids? Maybe Jisung. I would maybe say Jisung. Yeah. I don't know if that helps my case at all. But I also don't know enough about them, I think, to really... My main record in ATs was Songhwa, but then it all depends on the comeback. That's fair. Subin all the way! My bias record in Stray Kids is Bangchan and Ian, and my biases are Felix, Han, Hyunjin. In her main videos, she doesn't talk too much about them in that way, but she does lives too, and I only intended one. She does lives? Do you think she saves them? Oh, look, this one. ATs 2025 tour updates. Confronting members' behavior. Wait. Is this a perfect gateway? Can I share something with the class? Will you hear me out? Will you hear me out? It's a hot take that I have, but I do have a hot take. Because it kind of pertains to that. I love Chanyeol. Me too! I can't choose a bias between Wooyoung and Mingi. That's fair. My bias in ATs are Wooyoung and Hongjoong. My records are Mingi, Yosang. They're my old biases along with San and Songhwa. Interesting. Me too. I love Lino too. Me too. Me too. Mingi's been battling for second or first bias. Something about Mingi. But see, Mingi to me, popular to contrary... what? Contrary to popular... What? Okay, I'm just not going to say that then because I don't know the phrase. Despite what other people say about Mingi, okay? Because I know a lot of people, they like get bias wrecked by Mingi because they think he's like hot, right? Which he is. My favorite thing about Mingi though is his personality. I'm not gonna lie. I love how like aloof he feels sometimes. Sometimes it's a little much. I think that's why he's not necessarily my favorite, because San is the same too. San has like this like, I can really only use aloof as the word. It's like the one where it feels almost a little ditzy, but not in like a bad way. Like it's like such like an adorable kind of thing. But I that's also how Soho is, and that's also how Baekhyun is. So like I can't believe that it's just kind of doing the same thing. But that's like, I think that personality trait, like that specific one, is one that like I will fall for every single time. As soon as I meet someone who has that kind of quality, like they're like slightly aloof, seems like they're operating on three brain cells, but they, because they tend to also be really smart, like logically they're really smart. um but when it comes to things like that, like you're always kind of like, what is even going on inside your head sometimes, you know, like how are we getting to these conclusions? They always say the most off the wall things, but they also have the most like creative kind of thoughts and processes, which is why they tend to say goofy things sometimes. That will get me every single time. That's like my favorite kind of personality trait. But San and Mingi both have the same. They both have that. And so that's why Mingi is my favorite, because I think it's so funny. Like he's so funny with it. Go ahead. I'm scared. I love personality too. That's what I'm saying. Literally what's catching my heart with him. Yes! Like it just, he seems like somebody, it's like you kind of just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just such an adorable trait to have. I can't think on command. I need to write my records on paper, but it changes every comeback era. That's valid. Mingi's a diva. The way he rolled his eyes when the interview, he didn't say 18 right? Yeah, he's also very, what's the word? Set on things. Like they need to be done right, or they're just not be done at all. Girl groups for me are no records. Once I have a bias, I stay loyal to them. That's so valid. It's so valid. You know what? Maybe I'll save my hot take for a secret stream. It kind of is a hot take. And I mentioned this earlier, but it has to do with oneus. So, I think it's something, I don't know if it's bad. It's definitely like a personal opinion that I have. Definitely a personal opinion, but it's just something that has bothered me. It's bothered me for a long time, but just more especially after the last couple of concerts. That's all. Itsy bias for me is Yeji. I'm the same way, so I guess that's why I like Mingi. No, yeah, he's adorable at the end of the day. Me too, I love Yeji. Mingi's been a bias record for me for years, but man, this past year and a half, he's been trying so hard to be second or first bias. I'm saying, girls will be girls in my head. I kind of like that song. I think I just don't like how repetitive it starts to feel after a while. My personal opinion. I've been streaming for so long. Wait, I didn't even know. Wait, I didn't even know. How about I'll do 20 more minutes of stream. And then we'll end for tonight. I just had I had a lot to say this time. Okay. Lots to say. I didn't even like recap my oneus tour experience. Honestly, not much happened. I'll be honest with you. Not much happened. My Inhypen bias is Heesung and Sunghoon. My records are Jade Nikki. My bias is Sunghoon in Inhypen, but I don't know them enough to like have like a bias record. I think if I had to pick one, it would be Jake. I think. Yeah. Oh, anyways, not much happened at the oneus concerts. No. I won't mention that. I won't. right? I mean, nothing spectacular or anything. I put everything I wanted to like mention in my vlog. So if you guys haven't watched my new vlog, be sure to go watch. Be sure to go watch it. I'm also working on my Nashville vlog. Hopefully I have that up by the end of this week. I'm like halfway done editing, so it should be pretty soon as well. My old bias was Jake, and I said he's trying to win me back. Valid. Nikki's my bias since day one. You know what? We love a loyal queen. My girl group biases are Jiu, Sua, Yujin and Ray, Winter, Karina, and Chaein. Ooh. Some of them. Oh, and Yeji. That's so slay. I'm waiting for your Nashville vlog. My Nashville vlog, honestly, I think it's going to be really exciting. I had such a good view for Nashville. I had a really, really good seat. So all of my clips are going to look really good. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Today's homework assignment, everyone has to watch the Chicago vlog. Yes, everyone has to watch the Chicago vlog, and next time I come back to stream, you have to tell me your favorite moment. I have a favorite moment, and I put it in the vlog. It's my favorite moment just because of how, like, goofy it was. Winter's my bias in Espa. My bias in Espa is that controversial? Giselle. It's my first time watching you, and the way you're so friendly and lovely, I swear. Thanks. Thank you so much. No, I love to yap. Wonyoung is my bias in Ive. I love Wonyoung. My bias in Ive is Liz. Liz. The deadline is whenever the stream is. Yes. Tomorrow, maybe. It depends because I'm trying to finish editing my Nashville vlog. So, like, I might take tomorrow. If I don't finish it tomorrow afternoon, I'll take tomorrow evening to finish editing. But if I finish editing tomorrow or even later today, then I'll stream tomorrow. Yeah. Yep. And I love Liz. Me too. I love me a vocalist. I love vocalists. I think it's just because I wish I was a good vocalist. So it's like, I like listening to other vocalists because it's like, I wish I could sound like that. I love you so bad, bad, bad. You make... Oh, wait. That was bad. You make me feel some type of way. Didn't know she bad, did or bad, did or got. Nothing more, nothing, I love you so. I just felt with how cute Wonyoung was and her vocals, I swear what happened. Wonyoung's vocals have been becoming so good. Like, they're so pretty. My favorite one is actually her line in Attitude in the second verse. Where it was the, what did she say? Hold on, I have to think about the song. 그냥 기다릴 뿐이야. Oh, hold on, that was Liz's line. Anyways, it's that part. It's, I can find it. Hold on, it's right here. It's right here. Oh, 작은 시간이는 건 나에게 friends of mine. 그냥 기다릴 뿐이야. 운명이 참 나는 나나나나 나나나나나 어쩌겠어. I'm that girl. I'm that who. You look like Lisa. Thank you. I think I noticed in my biases, I subconsciously gravitate towards vocalists and rappers and those that can do both. Wait. That's so slay. That's... My fave song these days is Be Alright by Ive. I'm obsessed. The Japanese song, honestly, I haven't listened to it that much. I'm catching up. Okay, I'm catching up. People go after Wonyoung for everything. Like, bro, get a life. Her vocals and hair are amazing. She's been like getting really good at vocals, actually. Like, I love listening to her vocals too, especially in like songs, the ones where like they're not soft, but they're like more like powerful. Oh god, they sound so good. I want Jungho from ATEEZ to sing Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. That would give me his vocal. His vocals are also amazing. He could probably eat that up. He could eat that up for sure. I mostly pick leader vocalists or Australian / Thai members. It happens. Are you Turkish? No. No, I am not. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna watch one of those videos. Hold on, where's the link? It's way back here. Because they're like quiz videos. All right, ready? It says, what? Your AT's bias might be your forbidden obsession. Here's proof. Oh god, the description says, some crushes are light and sweet. Others sneak into your life and take a permanent space in your head. In this delusional deep dive, we're exploring the different flavors of a crush, the kind you can't quite shake no matter how much you try. Okay, who's my bias? San. Okay, clocked? Hello? Okay, I was just, this was for fun. I was trying to do this for fun. I got clocked immediately. When it comes to K-pop Demon Hunters, I feel robbed. What? It's not exactly quiz videos, more an explanation. I just wanted to see like what they would say, and then immediately got clocked. What the heck? Oh god. Watch C-Jump. Maybe. Okay, so I picked San. San is my bias. Wait. Hold on. Oh, okay. So it says, do you notice the quiet ones when they fall for you? Okay. Leave me alone. How about you leave me alone? You shut up and leave me alone. It says, or does it take like a grand gesture? I know that question feels very intense or maybe a little bit soft on your heart. Okay. I didn't know I was just getting roasted immediately.
Look too deep into it, because that's San's job. San, the soft intensifier.
The soft intensifier.
He goes from sunshine to storm.
He goes from sunshine to storm in seconds. That sounds horrible. I don't want someone like that. Then he pauses at you, holds a second too long. Oh. Hold on. Are you guys hearing this?
Crush through intensity, more feeling, more presence, more you. He's not subtle.
Introvert me would never ask my crush out. What? You know what? One thing I think I'm a little bit upset about, just a little bit, is I know that there are people out there who are kind of in the same situation where they will like somebody, more specifically me. They might like somebody and then they will never tell them because they just don't want to. Or like, I don't want to say don't want to, but like, they're too nervous to, they're too shy, they just don't know how. And so then nothing ever happens. And like, I know that probably has probably happened to me before. Like, somebody has probably liked me, has never said anything, and then just let it go. That's sad. I would much rather somebody just tell me. Well, I guess it's the rejection part. Like, you don't want to tell them and then like them be like, no, I'm sorry. That would suck. But I mean, a lot, like most of the time you don't ever know. You don't know what could happen. You know? So like, I don't know. I just wish we would tell people when we like them. I just wish we would. Extrovert me will ask you out the second I think of it. Okay, see, I'm not that cool. I'm extroverted, but I also will not tell the person that I like them immediately. I think I have to like feel it out. I have to be like, is this like, am I able, does it seem like I could potentially tell them I like them at some point, or is it like not going anywhere? Okay, awesome. I feel scared. It's not that simple. What do you mean? I watched some of these videos she got recommended to me one day on YouTube and stuff hit the fan. I mean, it sounds okay so far, but it almost sounds like she's trying to start getting into like some weird things. I don't feel worthy and guys might control. Okay. Honestly, same. All of the guys that I like are either just super unattainable or or like, you know, they just don't like me back. And then the guys that like me are just like not, you know, not really my type. Hi, hello. I don't know what to do with my crushes. I just have crushes from afar at this point. I don't know. Worst they can say is, I wish I never met you and I'm calling the police. Okay, well, if you're approaching in a weird way, yes, they will. If you're approaching in a nice way, it won't end like that, I swear. I'm an introvert with extrovert energy. Oh, an ambivert. I think I am too, but I'm more extroverted. Yeah. She gets psychological. Oh, let's finish. Are you guys hearing this?
It's giving. I'm about to say, wolf is his prey, but I'm not going to say that. I will say that you can feel the intensity of Sam's presence, especially his stare, even if he's being like fluffy.
Okay,
cute,
okay,
like
hold on. She brought up a really good point. I've noticed this. This is a me problem. This is a me problem. Do I even want to talk about that? Because she mentioned how San, like you can feel when he's staring, and like, you know, like you can really just feel it. And I hate when people stare at me. God, I hate it. When I tell you, it bothers me a lot when people, not only do they stare, but people who like look, like they're looking at you constantly, and then like I catch them looking and then they'll look away, but then they'll do it over and over and over. And it's like, do you have something to say? Why are you looking at me like that? Or like, why are you letting me catch you looking at me? Like catching you looking at me. Like you're either gonna say something, you have something to say, or you want to go right now. Like I don't know, like, you know, it irks me. It irks me really, really bad. So I don't really like when people like look at me like that. Okay, when they're staring or like they just constantly keep looking. But at the same time, this is why I think it's a me problem. Because even though it irks me a lot, if somebody's doing that and I'm like interested in them, suddenly it doesn't become annoying. Like is that a TMI? Is that TMI? I I don't know. That's just what I thought when they said that he likes to stare.
Especially his stare, even if he's being like fluffy and cute, like you can feel it through the screen. Puddings, give me both of your hands. But ask you this, be honest, down in the comments. Is it hotter when someone makes it obvious, or when you're the only one?
Okay, okay. I don't like the way she talks or like narrates these, but she has some points. Because I literally just explained how. Okay. The idea of a crush 10 times is 10 times better than actually getting to know your crush, because then you find their human flaws versus the idea of yeah, that is really true. Like sometimes it's almost better to just leave them over there like as a crush than to try to like. I totally get it. Me too. Now I gotta look. If a guy kept looking at me like that with Riz, I'm about to be dead. Well, okay. Yeah. I don't know. If they start doing it with Riz, it becomes cringe. I'm sorry. Anyway, she like. Alright, it's a valid question. Let's pose the question. Is it hotter when someone makes it obvious or when you're the only one who notices? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. To me, I like it more when they don't make it that obvious. Now, this is contradictory because I like when people tell me if they like me or anything. But if it's like, if we're like in a room, okay, we're in the same room and they're looking at me, um, but if they're doing it really obviously, I think it's not. I I would like it a little, but I think I would like it a lot more if it was like subtle. Kind of the way she worded it is like if you're the only one who notices, I think I would like that a lot more. I've been blessed with dad energies most of the time I get a smile back. I mean, that's good though. At least you look friendly and approachable. I meant like the subtle riz that isn't okay, yeah. Subtle riz. Not straight up riz. Sorry. I don't like riz. I'm a hater. I suffer with social anxiety. I get awkward sometimes and like I hate my smile. Any advice that can help me? Maybe if you're not comfortable like smiling with your mouth, you can try smiling with like your eyes. Because that also looks really friendly and approachable. Like if you don't want to like see someone and be like, "Hey," like kind of, you can just do it with your eyes and just be like a or so I don't, tell me to what? Tell me to what? Subtle. Yes. I'm going back to K-pop land. I'm listening to 17 My period.
Now, don't hide from your truth. I
Alright.
mean, there's something I don't want you to hide. Let me know if you like this video. Just hit like, hit subscribe if you want more of these showing up in your inbox. But now back to hiding something. I gotta tell you something. That's Mingy's job.
Wait, Mingy's my second bias.
Who's hiding something. He talks a lot. And suddenly you're the one he vents to, brags to, jokes with. But under the goofiness, a little tension. He acts chill, but fumbles when you compliment him. He jokes about dating, unless he's got a crush, and his mouth can't hide it. My name is Mingy, and I have a crush on you. Think so? All right, let's just fight in the comments because like I'm ready. Like let's square up. Do you catch on faster when someone flirts, or when they pretend they're not? Think
Ooh,
so?
great question. What was the question? Great question. What was it? Oh, do you catch on faster when someone flirts or when they pretend they're not? I think for me, I catch on faster when they pretend they're not. Because if someone's flirting, I can kind of just, a lot of the time, because this is just how my brain is wired, I just naturally assume that they're being nice. Like they're just being friendly and that's it. So like they could be flirting with me and I would just be like, oh wow, what a friendly guy. Like, But when they're like trying not to, I think is when I notice it the most. So, yeah. I got okay. Oh, this is so late. I know. I said I was going to end in 20 minutes. And guess what? It's 20 minutes later. Okay. I can't have a bias in 17. They're 13. I can't stay loyal with that many members. Not gonna lie, I miss being cringe for... Okay. What the heck? I didn't know about the guy that I think flirted with me. Oh, I didn't know about the guy that I think flirted with me, so I don't know. See... Yeah, I don't know. It's so difficult too, though. This is why I think I'm a problem. I'm the problem. Because I like when it's not obvious when people are flirting with me, but at the same time, then I start to think that they're not. I'm like, maybe they're not. Maybe they're not flirting with me at all. And here this whole time they were, but like I got too into my head about if they were or weren't. So now all hope is lost. I don't know. Yeah, what happened with the phone guy? Have you seen him yet? Too busy in life. No, you just need to go in for a phone repair. That's all. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to watch a lot of these and then see what happens.
Okay, so...
Oh, sorry. Like I said, I don't like the way she narrates these, but... Um, what? What? I mean, these would seem nice, I guess. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot what Rachel said about Lido. I said that you said he stares during concerts and asks if he blinks. Lido, okay. Lido irritates me in that aspect because I catch him looking a lot. And like again, I have an issue when people are looking at me, um, and I catch them looking and then they just like look away immediately. Like, you know, and it's like repeatedly. I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens. I hate because it makes me feel like again that they have something to say. And so it's like, do you have something to say or like what? Like why? Anyway, he Lido does that a lot though. Like a lot. It's just really goofy. I'd be the type to say I'm not flirting with you. Fair. Flirting is different than actually asking someone out though. Flirting can be a little vague, but if you want to ask someone out, you should be direct. Yes. That is very true. Lame Laura Weed drama. Me either. That's what I'm saying. She gets a little weird. Yeah, I see what you mean. I think the concept is there. I like the concept. Just the way that it's like coming off is strange. If he blinks, that means bro's into you. Have I ever seen Lido blink? Well, okay. So we've made eye contact a lot of times. Has he ever blinked? I don't think so. Trust me, as a guy, I know how guys think. Thank you so much. Listen, real quick, since both of you are guys, I need advice. Yeah. I've seen your takes. You don't. Okay, it's valid though. Sorry. Okay, guys, for real. We'll do 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. All right, and then I'll end stream. If he breathes, he's into you. That is so real. That is so real. I agree. 9:59. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, 10 minutes for real. For real. And then I'm going to end stream. Bro does the double wink. You know, he's trying to be because Rachel heard that he doesn't blink and said that sounded so creepy and asked if he at least blinked. I don't know if he blinks when he's looking at people. I mean, he blinks other times. I'll have to go look. Lido giving off Jasper from Twilight vibes. Bro, it's so... It is so... Sometimes it's off-putting because I'm sitting here trying to just enjoy the concert. I'll look over at Lido and he's like already like... I'm like... What are we looking at? What? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. 1:35? It's 11. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I know I'm keeping everyone awake on this Tuesday evening. My bad. I have lots to yap about. I just have so much to talk about. Yeah, okay, be honest. What does a guy do when he flirts? Cause not Jasper. Okay, Jasper's cool though. Oh. Okay. I think, honestly, I'd have to add Jasper to like my Hear Me Out cake. But that's goofy. That's a really goofy thing for me to say because you know who else is on my Hear Me Out cake? John Marston from Red Dead Redemption. But if I put Jasper on that cake too, Jasper is also a southern country boy. I don't have a type. I swear. I swear to God. It's 11:05 a.m. Oh, my bad. My bad. If Lido looked at me, I'd be thinking he'd want a staring contest with me. One time I did. This was, I think, in this is actually in the Blood Moon tour because I'm standing there, and I'm recording it's like during one of their ments, and I see Lido, and he's like looking. And now, mind you, this is like his like fifth time looking, right? Like that we've made eye contact, and like it was bugging me at this point because I'm like, what are you looking at? And so, because again, I just don't like when people stare at me. It gives me like, it makes me start to think that something's wrong. Like I'm like, is there something on me? Like, what's going on? So he's looking, except this time, because what had been happening before this was that he would like, we would always make eye contact, but then we would break it like mutually at the same time. But this time I, try to do the same thing. I see him looking. So I look at him and then I look away like immediately because someone else is talking. And then I look again and he's still looking. So then I look away again one more time because I'm like, maybe he's like zoning out and like maybe he's just like, oh, oops, my bad. So I look away, I look at him again, and he's still looking at me. So I turn around. I turn around to like behind me. I'm like, maybe he's looking at something behind me, and it's like totally not me. So I look behind me, there's nothing behind me. There's nobody behind me at all. And so I was like, okay. So I turn and look back at him and he's still looking at me. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what we're looking at. So I lock in. I sit there and I like start looking at him back. And so then we're staring at each other for probably like 3 seconds. It's a long time. 3 seconds is a long time to be staring at someone. So I'm locked in. I'm like staring at him back and he's looking and I think he finally realizes that like now we're just looking at each other. So then he like looks away. And I was like, well, what else did you want me to do? Like, I do that with people all the time. If I find out that they're looking at me too long, I'll start looking at them back. Now we're gonna stare at each other. So, yeah. Ah. If you still want to yap, you can stay here with me. I would love to yap for as long as I want to. But I also need to go to bed. If she matches my blinks, that's the sign. That would be impressive. There's no one size fits all. I flirted with girls and they think I'm being friendly, and I've been to polite the girls and they think I'm flirting. You want to know something? Wait, hold on. I have a story for this. It's a small story. I said 10 more minutes. Bro's gonna hunt down his ex day ones. Why? My boyfriend, by the way, has a sister and she loved you. Meet Edward. Best advice is decide if you actually want to flirt back, and if so, then flirt. If not, then shut it down. It doesn't matter anyway. Were you wearing the hat? It was the hat. He was mesmerized by the cute cowgirl. No, I wore the hat for the fan sign and the group photo, but I took it off in the concert because I didn't want to bother people behind me. So, I feel bad for my bros that haven't been. Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. That's weird. I don't know how to flirt. I actually never tried, but I learned a few subtle ways. I think it's easy to flirt when you're trying to do it. I think. That's what my dad told me to do. If they stare at you, stare back. Exactly. Because they'll always look away. It'll make them uncomfortable and they'll look away. I don't know if that'll work though. Flirting is just being especially attentive. You don't have to use tricks. Yes. No, flirting. When you're trying to flirt, it's just... I guess I don't know. I don't know if I know how to flirt, but I think I do. Like, if it's happening, I think I know how. I think. Can I say what? These girls having whole families not even introduce me to our imaginary kids. You stare at me, best believe I'm gonna feel the opposite of awkward. What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? If I start staring at you, do you think we're like about to go rounds? Like what's going on? I'll keep that tip for when someone stares at me. Yeah, just stare at them back. Oh, I was gonna tell a story. Oh, okay. So I think I'm learning I have this problem where I don't know if it's just the way that I look at people. I don't think I look at people a specific way. I tend to have like a really, like, my resting face makes me look annoyed, but when I'm talking to people, I always try to come off really like friendly and nice. And I've noticed it's kind of become like a really huge problem. that I tend to just like I do the same thing. I look around. I like to people watch all the time. So like I like look around, I kind of just see what everyone's doing. Um and sometimes I make eye contact with people, and I'll say specifically guys. I'll make eye contact with guys because it's like I'm looking around and they're looking around, and like now we make eye contact. And so I'll just look away. Okay? I'll look away cuz I'm like, "Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to make eye contact." But I'm trying to resume my people watching. So then I wait a few seconds, and then I'll look back to where I was looking, and then start, doing my people watching again. And then I'll like make eye contact again with the same person, you know? And so then I'm like, now it makes me think, I'm like, okay, so now are you just looking at me? And so then I like look away, and then I look back again. Basically, I guess however I be looking to these guys, they seem to think that it means I'm interested. Hello, I'm making eye contact. Now, this happened, it's I'm thinking it might just be the way that I look. That like I just happen to like look while I'm looking around or something, because it's happened two times in the last like few weeks where I would see a guy like at like these events that I go to. Um like I make eye contact with like these guys like a couple of times just like on accident, and then like 3 days later they send me a message, and immediately now it sounds like they're trying to slide in the DMs. I'm like, what? Like, I gave you that impression? I'm so sorry. Like, I was simply looking. I was trying to people watch, and you were in the way. I I don't even know you like that. Like, what the heck? And so now I'm like, do I look it's like, do I look a certain way when I'm people watching? Like, if I make eye contact with somebody, like, am I giving off like a weird vibe? I don't know. It's just the fact that it's happened like more than once. I saw a pretty girl at the store the other day, but I got too shy to compliment her and ran away. Okay, I get it though, because I talked about this in my secret stream. I'll talk about it again. I saw a guy he was a security security guy for the venue in Nashville last week, and I thought he was cute. I thought he was really cute, but I kind of knew, I was like, I don't know if like it was more so just in the way where like I just liked the way he looked, and I would just love to admire him for like the amount of time I was standing there waiting. But it did cross my mind. I'm like, if I was just bolder and just a little bit better, I would love to like just strike up a conversation with him. Like just, and like just ask him like, hey, you're really cute. But I didn't. So I had to just like admire him from afar, and that's all. But yeah, like that I kind of did the same thing. We about to start planning a wedding if you lock eyes for too long. Wait. Okay, be honest. Do I look a certain way? I guess you can't tell from this way, but like, am I giving off like a God? India's a dangerous country. Us girlies sometimes practice witch laughs and gagging noises. No, that's so real though. You're pretty. Thanks. It's a huge problem. My resting face makes me look mean, and people don't talk to me in my new school. I'm so lonely in my new high school. I have the same dilemma, but like it works in my favor sometimes, because there are times, especially when I travel, I don't want like I don't want anything weird happening. Like I don't want people approaching me, or like I guess weirdos. I don't want those types of interactions. So I put on like my very, very serious face, and that's the face that makes me look like if you come up to me wrong, that I'll probably just drop kick you. Like I'll probably just slap you in the face and leave. Like that's kind of the expression that I have. And that's just my resting face though. Like I'll exaggerate it just a little bit, but that's it. And it works. I mean, no one ever No. There's been many times recently I go to the grocery store and run into the same guy multiple times in a short time. We make eye contact more than once, and I try not to look that much. Yeah, I know. Dudes are looking for eye contact, and they'll take repeated eye contact as a signal. Sliding in the DMs instead of just walking over and say something is childish. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't take those people seriously. I do not like when someone sees me in person like doesn't say anything that entire time, and then 2-3 days later they like message me and they're like, hey, saw you at this thing a couple days ago. And it's like, you saw me there, why didn't you say anything? Like, why are you waiting until like so many days later to say something? I just don't take them seriously, low-key, because I think I respect maturity. So if like somebody did like want to like talk to me like that, they would do it in person, you know? Like they would come up to me in person and say it. So if you can't, then like I don't want it. I'm sorry, I don't want it. I'm gonna make eye contact now, thanks. Yeah, yeah. I think I might get ready to sleep. It's almost 2 a.m. Okay, I said 10 more minutes and I totally went past. Okay, guys, we gotta stop. I wear a black mask to protect from COVID every time I go out. Oh god. So all people see is my eyes, so I better make good eye contact. Eye smiles. Eye smiles and eye contact, I'm telling you. Good night, good morning, good evening. Thanks for hanging out today. Yeah, you know what? I gotta head out too. I went way past my limit. That's high schools. They won't walk up to your 6-foot self, then they. That's so true. That is so true. Shy stalkers turn into cyber stalkers. Don't say that because that's true too. Okay, anyways. All right, guys, we gotta cut the conversation short. I'm so sorry. I know we're like getting into our good combos and everything, but I did say I was gonna end. Granted, a long time ago, but I figure I'll do it now before I push it off again. Um, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and letting me yap for as long as I did. Okay, I just missed you guys. That's all. Um, I will try to stream tomorrow, but I'm still working on editing my Nashville vlog. So, if I don't finish it tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably take the evening to finish editing, so I might not stream because of that, but we'll see. But if I don't stream tomorrow, I will stream the day after that. So, you will see me in the next couple days, don't worry. Yeah, everyone's homework assignment is to go watch the Chicago vlog. Tell me your favorite part, okay? Find your favorite part in this vlog and let me know in the next stream. That's your homework assignment. And yeah, but be sure to go watch it anyways because I think it's fun. I think it's fun and exciting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I hope you have good sleeps and good dreams. And I hope you have a good day tomorrow, or you're having a good day right now, or you had a good day today. And I will see you all in the next stream. We got homework? Yes, so be sure to do it. I'm going to quiz you. All right, bye everyone. Thanks for hanging out today.